So you mentioned last time that you did your website. If we go back in time, did you pay somebody to do that last time?
Yes.
Okay.
I had a client that also built websites for a living.
Yeah.
And while I was doing her hair, at one point I said, I really need a good web page. And she says, I can do that for you. And I said, great. So she kind of showed me how she works and the things that I had some professional photos done. Not snapshots. I did it. I had a professional photographer come in, had all the lighting set up. All of my girls were there. We also went, the girls that worked for me, we went to her studio and took snapshots of all of us and put that up there. It was very clean, very professional. Everything was beautifully done. And I had people tell me, well, I chose this salon because your website was the most professional in the area.
Wow.
And so I thought, okay, well, that's evidence it's worth it. You usually get what you pay for. So, and it holds true in most everything that we do. So
yeah.
Hair, video, computers. I mean, you pay $10 for a haircut, you're going to get $10 worth of a haircut.
Right.
You pay $60 for a haircut, and so on. So
I think that with people in your profession, having a solid web presence is important for that point alone, because sometimes people are trying to compare apples to apples when they're not. It's apples and oranges.
True.
And we know each other through networking and everything like that. And you kind of only know me in this with doing Simple Healthy Web. But back home in Kansas City, I have the art gallery and frame shop that I had for 10 or 11 years. And that's a very similar business in the sense that people thought that they were walking into Hobby Lobby to have something framed.
Oh, yeah, no.
And when you try to compare those two price points and the quality and the execution and the service you get, it's very similar. And so people are really shopping around, and you're not going to try to, especially you mentioned we went through the Groupon thing,
right?
And that can be painful. I know it's almost kind of a necessary evil sometimes for your industry and restaurants, especially it provides a big hit of people.
It does.
But they are the one and done sometimes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Mostly. I have a business mentor in addition to other things. When coming to a new area, I decided I'm going to get a branding person, a business mentor, a social media person, like guidance in all of these areas. And what does it look like at this time to like rebirth who I am in this area? And so that's where the networking came in. That's where we met.
Yes.
I've been involved with that networking for 2 years, and that really seems to do a whole lot of good. However, I'm kind of outside of the scope of where those people live right now. And they're like, well, if your shop was closer, we would come see you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
And in time, when I come back out to this area, and that'll be great. Yeah. However, the other part is still what we're talking about. Like, somebody who's used to just hitting the grindstone and making it work and like doing beautiful work and having a passion for it. That other side is still in the back of my mind, like, oh, crap, I should have taken a picture of that. And now she's already gone. And then some of them are really awesome. They'll take a picture at home and give me like a little shout out or props.
Okay, sure.
And then they'll tag me in Facebook, which is wonderful. And then the person that runs the Facebook, she'll find it and then move it to my professional Facebook page.
Right.
So that's a good help. I think it would be easier for me, someone new to this type of social media frenzy, and there's so many outlets of social media that my head spins, and I think I'm going to go crazy, and I wish they were all connected, and I could just hit a button and it goes to everyone, but that's not the case. But if I had that coach of someone to go check in 2 or 3 times a week, hey, JoElle, this isn't on your page today. I want to see more of this, because I'm still like, I want to put organic things. I want to put, retail. I want news of the day, a beauty advice for the week. So I want to know, well, what content needs to go on that? I mean, not just the Pinterest pictures of great hair that's probably a model and been photoshopped and enhanced, and it's not reality. And then thanks for the reference, but that probably wasn't what it looked like anyway. It's just, it's confusing.
that social media manager, I think, is becoming a more common job description for some people. A lot of small businesses have that, and they have a very narrow, specific set of objectives that they're supposed to do, and that's one of them.
Yeah,
is to try to keep the business consistently posting and to help the small business owner execute that. So I can really see, like you said, your assistant or whatever doing that, or even a separate person that does that. There's plenty of people that we've met that do that. We actually have one for the Art Gallery and Frame Shop in Kansas City that kind of does some of that, is starting to do more of that now, actually. And just to reference wish I could push one button for them to all go, there is kind of a software out there that does that a little bit, which is nice. It pushes it to different platforms like Pinterest and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And so...
Right. Instagram and Facebook are connected?
Facebook owns Instagram.
Okay.
Yep. And Facebook bought Instagram recently. And so it was kind of a steal of a purchase because Instagram has a huge user base, nowhere near Facebook, of course. Yeah. But people, I believe, kind of like Instagram because it's just visual. And it doesn't have all the other posts.
Oh,
in the
right.
sense, you can't just post a update that's just words or links or anything like that.
Right. I think at my stage in the game, I mean, I'm 49, so it's really, I have to ask a 20-year-old, hey, can you load this on to this page? Which sounds silly. I should know more about that, but my passion is like hair videos and classes and seminars and academies and the media on my telephone. I suppose I'm embarrassed to say, in my mind, I think I just don't have time for that. However, I think at this time I should make time for it.
Sure. And you don't need to walk into the professional woodworker shop where all this tools you can buy a house when you just need to build a birdhouse. And so you don't need to use all the tools.
Right.
And right now, a professional craftsman is going to say, JoElle, here's 4 tools. And you're going to learn how to use these. I'm going to train you how to use this hammer, this pin nailer, and how to glue these 2 pieces of wood. And after your comfort level goes up with that, and someone looks at you in the eye and says, this is going to work for you for now, and your comfort level between now and then, or now and the next 18 months, I think that's going to change a lot of things for you. You really need somebody that's going to kind of be that guide in this area. And
I agree.
Yes.
Here's why. I recall, and I want to say it was 2007 or 2008, when Twitter first came around, and everybody was annoyed by it. It was a pain in the rear end, and it would show up on their phone. Now, thank you, President Trump.
Yeah.
It is like the hippest thing ever. However, I still can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rude for me to stop in the mid haircut and find out what I need to post on Twitter or what I need to keep up with. Or same thing with Instagram or Pinterest. And so I think I'm trying to say I would love guidance on this is the hottest thing that's going right now, go with it. And in 6 months, if something else is the hottest thing right now, go with that. Like wherever it's going to bring you awareness, like I need guidance as to what that looks like. It's I can give you hair trends. I know where hair has been trending from and where it's going. I can kind of see ahead of this or see styles brought back, right?
Sure.
But I don't know the social media at all.
Well, the worst thing to do is to try to do everything in a mediocre fashion.
Right.
And what's also good is to find other examples of people that are doing it well and try to copy them and their style, or is there another way in that's a little bit different from theirs? But there are there are stylists in Chicago and New York and Miami that have a style and a brand presentation that will appeal to you in some way, shape, or form. And there are certain key elements of that are not that difficult to execute. And I think we can get you to the point where you say, oh, I don't have to worry about all this nonsense.
That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Because clarity is the biggest thing right now that is not happening with marketing people. Because as artists, we have all this paint and all these brushes and this blank canvas, and we stand in front of it and go, this is exhilarating. And that's not our job. Our job is to work with someone like you that understands what it's like and how hard it is to wear all the hats. And now you've got to wear this giant marketing hat and say, just do these things and then you'll be fine and it will work well.
It's also a little bit difficult on our end because coming from like my age group, we really want to see what you can do for us that the other person can't do for us. Like, okay, we have now it's a vast amount of people that say, hey, we can help you build your business. We can help you have a web presence. We can help you have a social media presence. However, how many people are doing that? Like great, you say you can do it, but do you have the salt to back it up? I mean, what do you have to offer someone like myself versus someone who's 20, who's Absolutely. In that industry? Like, we want to know if we're going to invest in someone as yourself to help us, like, push forward into that media world or web world, like if it's going to be effective.
Right. And the analytics, the reports that say this is what's changing. This is how many hits your site got when you first opened, and then 6 months later, social media and all that stuff. And the ability to communicate all that to you with, different markers for you to know that you're getting a good return on your money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would not know how to look at those markers at all. So I would want to know that you know how to look at those markers and you know how to see what the market is trending in and what's the hottest thing or Absolutely. What people want to see.
Right.
Like, they see all these great pictures of things, but is that what they're looking for? How do we know what they're specifically looking for?
Right.
Do they want to know if you're running a special on hair color? Do they want to know if you're running a special on products? Like, if I buy a bottle of shampoo, do I get a bottle of conditioner at half price? Do we post that? Yeah. Do you put that with a picture? These are things that in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, my head is spinning. I know, okay, this is what I want. Is this what's best? Like, what's really going to grab attention of people and make them think, ooh, I got to get in there.